accept the change and
This
embrace
is
your growing
Dzyn,
pains.
your host,
Take this walk with me.
bro.
Dzyn. My growth pains turned to a paradigm shift. I had to take a break from rap, they wasn't hearing my gift. I Lord Zeus, I can't keep fearing these tricks. They call me good rebel, cause I don't follow these scripts. I confuse them like Salo Saab, take you on a trip. I could beat the myth, passion came and went like a weather change. I guess that's ironic, cause I'm about to make it rain. I bring that substance, I help you function. I had to find God, my heart lost a lot of loving. I feel my soul numbing, but I know my time coming. Shock them like thunderbolts, yeah, they know my flow stunning. Good fight, I'm in the forefront, cause I'm on it for something. My purpose got me a lot of hate. Pick your side, you gon' decide your fate. Then you gotta ride the wave. Growth like this, it ain't minute made. It's more than the money chase. We missing on the freedom that we need to embrace. This ain't typical, I'm back up on it like a ritual. You show them love while they thinking that they sick of you. But in the end, I'm just doing what a winner do. I done saw it all, yeah, I don't even need the proof. I could rap anywhere, I don't really need a booth. But I gotta thank God, cause I didn't need the coupe. Watch a star shoot, get it through the pandemic. That's faith, that's a lot of grind, that's bare effort. I'm going up another level, cause back then I really didn't know no better. Look up in the sky, we gon' get it forever. And once I spit this truth, they won't forget the message. Living through your misery, but don't forget your blessings. I'm a warrior for God, that's my new profession. We know 1,000 times, I got 1,001 grinds. The therapeutic vibe, I have you free in your mind. The passion, illuminating like sunshines. I can see through the blinds, my spiritual one to bind. I got a king in me, my competitors couldn't find. And if I was ever behind, no, I couldn't whine. Exposing the facts like RZA, they thought it was a crime. Can you see this picture? I painted with my mind. I'm awake for the greatness I was destined. Hustle hard, beat the odds, and let them see progression. Yeah, that's my song right there called Growth. It's on Apple Music. It's your boy Dzyn here. We here with Creative Collection. What could make it better? Part 4. We just here to bring solutions and have a good dialogue with our people. All right, got Squeaky in the building, got Royalty in the building here, our host.
Yes, sir.
How you
All
doing,
right.
Royalty? Yeah, shout out to Tyree, developer, our administrator. Gonna need your assistance with Liberty Dan and Trooper. And they are here. And they have been fighting for a long time with the New York Freedom Rally. Hey, Trooper.
Yes.
Trooper, what's going on?
Trooper, what's going on, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You guys hear me good?
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course. No, pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Nice to meet you. You know, good things I've seen with the exercises and stuff like that you got going, and the work ethic.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, on this show we like to discuss, you know, solutions. It's called What Can Make It Better, aka What Can Make the World Better. We just like to bring real solutions and therapeutic solutions as well. So we like to talk about things that you can actually go do and things that may make you feel better just knowing that people are aware about it
and everything like that, and we get a good dialogue going. So if you want to introduce yourself, Trooper, you can do that.
Sure. No, thank you. So yeah, my name is Prince. Actually, just to give a little back. I mean, my name is Prince. Everyone knows me as Prince. My name actually means Prince. It's Omorede. It's a West African name. I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm doing good for myself. I started a fitness studio in the middle of Manhattan in New York City, which I'm proud of. Definitely grassroots, no investors, and really built myself up with work ethic and really just networking with the right people and really I feel like putting love into what I'm doing and putting energy into what I'm doing. Being a trooper is about being resilient, which I think everybody can be if they decide to be, no matter whether you consider yourself to be, from poverty or even privilege. Everybody has a battle that we could choose to step up to, and I think resilience is the name of it. So not only do we at Trooper in my gym do we focus on physical strength, but more importantly, mental strength. Mentality. Yeah, Trooper is a mentality. I wouldn't even say it's a lifestyle because it encompasses so many different lifestyles. I respect everybody's lifestyle, and but the mentality to take on the mindset that I am resilient and I can is really what I want to instill in people.
Right. Yeah, well, that's great, man. That's great. I think that type of influence out here will have children more confident than they supposed to be at a young age, and ready to take on the world. Like, I'm resilient. They finding out about that word and then they seeing it in existence, like you living it out, is a great influence right there. So that's exactly what people needed. That itself is something that can solve some of the problems in the world, is being resilient. So shout out to you for that. I got one question for you before we even get into the topics. What makes because I like the fact that I'm into fitness myself. I'm beginning into my fitness, and especially now at this time. So what made you decide? Because clearly you were into fitness before 2020, before ahead of that. You probably been way longer than that. So what made you get into fitness since it was such a genuine thing for you?
I've always been involved in fitness in my own personal life in terms of playing sports. My older cousin, which really was like a brother to me growing up, he kind of, we played basketball, and he was diligent about like trying to jump higher, run faster, and I'd really just follow him. He was 5'6" at the time, dunking the basketball, and I was trying to keep up with him. So that really got me in the gym, working out. So I've always been like into fitness, and I think that I ended up I started going to college. I was working security at the time when I was in college, and I didn't like my security job, so I said, you know what? I went to go work out because I had stopped working out for a while. I got in the gym, and I was like, I love being in the gym. I don't care how much money I make. I'd rather work in the gym and help people. And then what I didn't realize is that I liked being in the gym, but I didn't realize that I would fall in love. And that's what happened. I fell in love with not the fitness side of it, but the ability to help everybody on a bigger scale with their life, making them feel more confident in life. I realized that it transcended just physical fitness, and that was it for me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm listening, and I heard something that caught my attention. I feel like the thing that I like about what you said the most is the fact that you got inspired by somebody else just doing what they do, and you took that and then you want to inspire other people with that. That's the type of topics we need to get to. How contagious motivation can be. So that's good, man. So we can get into it. Royalty in here, Squeaky in here. What's going on, y'all?
We can start off. I just wanted to give a little background on Trooper.
Okay.
I don't remember formally meeting you, but I do remember seeing you at the rallies. I saw that you were fighting to stay open with your fitness, your gym. And I just want you to give a little rundown, because you have the definition of resilience. Like, you were resilient the whole time. Like, you did not discriminate against people, whether they were
medical decision.
You stayed open regardless. So that I really appreciate. And I just want you to give a rundown on how to stay resilient when things like that occur. Like, can you just give a rundown of what you actually had to go through to keep your business open?
Yeah, and you know what, I'm gonna keep it 100% real and not act like I was definitely nervous about it. And I think it's important for me to say that, being courageous, being strong is not the absence of fear. It's not the absence of feeling vulnerable. I definitely felt like I didn't know what to do at first. And I sat within myself and I saw these the mandates came out, and honestly, I had to take off from work like 2 days, because at first, and I'm keeping 100, I was never gonna lock people, but I was gonna fake it. I was gonna the people who wasn't
medical decision,
let them know, you can come in, but don't say anything, and kind of sneak it. I had like 2 days to myself. I was thinking about, I have 2 kids, I have a 3-year-old now and a 1-year-old, and I was just thinking about the message that I'm sending and the fact that it was so immoral to take away that choice from people of what they're putting in their bodies. I could go forever. It was insane, the mandate.
Right.
And listen, I poured my heart into it. I had no investments. It's not like I had a quick come up. This is grassroots. I saved money. I ate peanut butter and jelly. I mean, every day just to open my gym, I saved money and didn't spend money. For like 2 years just to open my gym, I put everything into it. And when it comes down to what's right and what's wrong and what I stand for, because my morals come before everything. And I did put it all on the line. I said, you know what? I don't want to come in. Pardon me, I don't know if I could curse. I don't want to win if I'm compromising my morals. Everything that I stood for, being a trooper, being resilient, our motto is all we know is going. I'm very big on community. I'm very big on inclusivity. All walks of life, all races, all backgrounds. I don't have to agree with you. As long as we rooted in love and togetherness, that's what I was all about. So to turn people away, especially people who stuck with me and kept my business alive during the shutdown,
right?
Hell no. I said, kill me. I said, kill me, for real. That's where I was at with it. Kill me.
Give it up for him.
Yeah, man, that situation was,
yes.
I was crazy.
What's up?
That's pretty solid.
We appreciate you for that. Yeah.
It was scary though. I don't want to sound tough. I was scared at first, and I made that decision. Scared, but I knew when I knew what was right, solid. There's nothing else to do but the right thing. So
let me tell you something though. You said I don't want to sound tough, right?
Yeah.
See, as a man, because this is something that needs to be understood. Why I had to say it. As a man, when you admit something is scary, that is tough.
Yeah.
Because nobody does that. Everybody likes to, oh, I'm good, I'm all right, I can handle it. And they like to try to front, and then when everybody leaves, they're like, oh my God, they're crying and stuff like that. But it's take a man to be like, yo, I'm scared right now, man. What are we gonna do? Do we have a solution?
I appreciate that.
I got
nothing to hide, man. I got nothing to hide. I don't think. Listen, I think strength. You know what I say this when I talk about people with working out too. It always transcends. Like I say, in order to get stronger, if you're not willing to be vulnerable, you're not gonna get stronger. Even with lifting weights, if you put the weights down when it gets heavy, you're not gonna get stronger. You actually have to feel weak in order to get stronger, and I preach that. So I can't back down when I know what the right thing is, and it's scary. I can't.
Wow, what a great analogy with the weights.
Good, yeah.
So. And and to respect to everybody who didn't know what to do and maybe didn't, in retrospect, didn't make the right decision, because it doesn't come, I wasn't clear at first. It hit me because I sat at night thinking about my kids, and what really pushed me, it was a moment, thinking about my kids and like, what are they going to say about daddy? And I was like, man, everybody's different. Like you said, and you said as a man, and I say this, the world's so different right now. You say as a man, you make sure you're not offending women. And believe me, I respect everything a woman brings to the table. Women do things that men cannot do and will never be able to do.
Amen.
But as a man, we have responsibilities to do what we have responsibility, especially as a father. So I won't ever give up my responsibilities or try to feel like someone has to share that with me. I'm gonna do my part, and I'm gonna be grateful for the part of a woman as well.
That's beautiful. That is what we need.
All right, what an intro, man. What an intro.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
So shout outs to you. Shout outs to Liberty Dan. He's also in the room. And
Liberty Dan, all right.
Liberty Dan, what's going on, man?
We're gonna get to him after Prince. So Royalty, you could
all right,
the question.
So the first question is, what made you go against the beast?
What made me go against the beast? Like I said, I think this is something that, again, I think everybody has to. People have trouble nowadays in general. I'm gonna go off a little bit to come back right to that. It's not that I was going against the beast. I was sticking to what I believe was right. And if the beast was going against what I was right, then it was inevitable for me to go against the beast. What I think is that people need to know, and you might not know right away, but we have to look in the mirror constantly, every day or every so often. And you need to know what your values are. Otherwise, you're gonna be floating in the water, blowing in the wind, as they say. I'm not a perfect person. Struggle every day. I try to grow every day. But I do believe that at the very least, everybody should know their values and should know their why and what they're doing and what you want to leave, what you're doing, everything you're doing for. That keeps me rooted. So when it comes time to make decisions, I may be like a little clouded for a minute, but there was no way I was gonna go with that. So I went against the beast because the beast was wrong in this scenario.
Right. Just a little sidebar. Like, what was like the first like moment you knew something was wrong? Like that first gut feeling.
Yeah, it's funny, man. With the
medical decision,
keep it 100%. Like the shutdown happened. At first, I was like, nah, this is gonna be like another thing like the Ebola and the Zika. Come on. Every year there's been something that's gonna scare. Like, let's be real. The evidence is there. Like, there's been a lot of things to scare us, and so I didn't really take it serious, just naturally. And then I was like, oh snap, the NBA shut down. Oh snap, maybe this is serious. I'm not a fool. I said maybe this is real, and I need to heed the warning. So for the first couple months for the shutdown, I shut down my gym. And I was like, maybe this is dangerous. I'm embarrassed to say now in retrospect, but I wore gloves, but like I was pumping my gas. Like, I was trying to just do my part based on the information that was given to me. And then, I watched the news a little bit, and honestly, the news didn't make any sense. Just straight up, the numbers didn't make any sense. And ever since that one thing what didn't make sense was that they were given, and I don't know if everybody's gonna follow me on this, but this is what sparked my questioning, and it never stopped since then. And then I started seeing the holes and everything. But the first question was like, they was talking about the cases, which is how many people they've gotten who has COVID, and the amount of death. And they were saying that, the flu generally, I guess 1% or 1 to 2% would die. And forgive my numbers if they're a little off. They were saying if you get to 3%, it's serious, it's a pandemic, it's crazy, it's a problem. My thing was, they were saying that the amount when they shut it, it was like we had 1%, we were like 2%, I think, when they cases to deaths. And then I realized, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, like me, I never got tested, ever. To this day, I haven't gotten tested. Because I didn't like that whole idea of putting something up your nose. It didn't make sense to me. I'm a little aware of, like, I know that the reason that didn't, I was like, if I feel sick, I'm gonna deal with it then. The Egyptians used to pull, when they did
yes, they used to put it up your nose as punishment, yeah.
To pull not only that, to pull the brain out from the mummies, like when so you can pull your brain out from your nose. That's not to say they're gonna pull my brain out, but they can reach my brain.
They can break the barrier. They break the barrier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you need to test if it's so contagious and I sneeze and someone could get it like that, then why you gotta go so far up my nose? Why can't I sneeze in the paper? It don't make no sense. Why you gotta go up my nose and you hurting people when it's so contagious? Let me spit 10 times. One of them spits gotta have it if it's that contagious. Right. That was weird to me.
You actually can do that. They just don't want you
to. Changed it to that. They did change it to that, right. Though. For certain people, they did change it to spit tests.
Right. So why even go on people's noses like that? Unless you putting COVID up there or something, So that was weird to me. And then, like I said, the numbers. The thing, they didn't test me. They didn't test a lot of people. So when you say you got, let's say for example, let's say it's 3%. Make it easy numbers. Let's say you got 100 cases, and you got or 3 cases or three deaths. Out of 100 cases, that means 3% people died, right? But you didn't test me, so it's really 101. It's really 102. It could be 300 people, so now it's 1%. If it's 300 people and it's 3 people, you didn't check everybody. You don't know how many cases. I could have COVID at home right now. I didn't go to them. So how do you know it's 3%? Right. So that number didn't make that simple. I feel like if you sat and thought about it, a 5th grader could have figured that out. And I felt like everybody just believed it. And then I'm not saying it was bad math, it was bad science, and I was like, nah, let me pay attention now, and it never made sense from there on.
How about the people that were in charge saying these numbers, that these people who had no authority to say what they, not even to declare, not even, like, they were just given the title to do such a thing. That's when I woke up. I was like,
yeah, I'm in a medical family too. And they were like, this, in the house, they were like, bullshit. They're not allowed to say it outside. I'm married into even a medical family too now. I think for myself, and I think everybody should. Like I said, knowing your values and always thinking for yourself, I think everybody should do that. And I don't think that's how the world works right now. I respect social media, but I think people just want to follow and make things easy for themselves. I can't move like that.
Right, and you should always advocate for yourself. Like I say it to my family members all the time. You should advocate for yourself. We're so used to being dictated to, and when we get sick, we run to the hospital. We do what the doctors tell us. We don't question what they give us. We don't even look up the ingredients. We just take it out of good faith.
We don't even know how to. We don't even know. I hate to say it. You're right, 100%. We're literally basically domesticated. Like we talk about animals being domesticated, but we are. Most humans don't know how to feed themselves without a supermarket. Like you don't know how to hunt or eat meat. Most people don't know how to garden. They have to go Google it. Like, we don't really know how to take care of ourselves. We don't know how to build a house for the most part nowadays. So we're domesticated, and it shows up in every. We just take medicine and we don't know what's in there, you know. So I'm this guy for a lot of other things. You know, I have been that. I didn't know I was a kid. I was accepted without making sense of it. But this really opened my eyes. Unfortunately, this did the opposite for me. It made me go, hold up. These people that I'm trusting might not have my best interest at heart. So let me just ask questions now.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole different situation when you get a blanket of, yo, just take this, you know what I'm saying? Just take this, everybody. Meanwhile, everybody has different things going on in their body, different things going on in their body that makes it
medical decision.
Might not be good for this person. It might make another person more sensitive to other things. I've seen that happen too, where people get allergic to nothing now because they could.
Medical decision.
It's just like, why not everybody get? I know that the healthcare system is a little strained, but why not take our time, get more people working, and then we get the regimens that it takes to take care of everybody, because everybody's bodily anatomy is different. So this one person might need more zinc. One person might need more vitamin C, or both. One person might need elderberry. Another person might need to work out more and stop eating cheeseburgers every week or whatever. It's just not to sound funny, but their diet might be terrible. So they might need to change their diet and go with a Dr. Sebi diet or a herbal diet or whatever it is. Just treat every person as if they are a special being.
And 100% agree with you. 100%. And then even on top of that, what's bigger than that is choice. Like the choice of what goes in your body. To me, that's factual. Like, and it's crazy because, and this is where you might agree with everything I said, except this. I don't say I do agree or disagree, but you know, I feel like in terms of politics, I'll talk to you about how I feel politically. Politics-wise, you know, there was a lot of, you know, I grew up Democrat or around Democrats and liberals, obviously, for the most part, not Republican. I feel like so much has changed in so many years, and I'm not Republican to this day. I'm actually not party affiliated. I pride myself on being a free thinker and listening to what everybody has to say. For a long time, the Democrats, it was my choice in reference to women and abortion rights, which is a whole other thing that popped up, which seems on purpose as well. But it was my body, my choice. And then with the
medical decision,
Democrats specifically, it seemed like, or liberals didn't feel like my choice was applicable. And it's kind of ironic because right now, you know, Roe versus Wade just happened. It's my body, my choice. And here's my thing. My thing is, I do believe in my body, my choice as a whole. And I feel like Republicans believe it with the
medical decision,
but don't believe it with with women's rights and abortion. And then liberals believe it with women's rights and abortions, but don't believe it with
medical decision.
I think people are really, if you look at the fact that a whole half country feels one way and it's not both. It's like there's a lot of brainwashing. People just regurgitating what they hear, and I want that to stop.
Absolutely, that's ridiculous to me. I mean, I don't know exactly what your beliefs are, but I feel like when you let God guide you, when you let God guide you on that, you'll know what's morally correct to do. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to dealing with corrosion and then dealing with abortions, I think that's something that's holy. It's like, you know, it's your child, it's your baby, and it's basically it's a sensitive topic. So I wouldn't speak on it too much. I would let women speak on this topic respectfully overall, because they do. It takes a man and a woman to have a baby, but they do come out of women. So I wouldn't get too heavy on this topic, but I just think it should be sacred enough for that law to not even matter. Like, it should be sacred enough for that law to be like, oh, what are they doing with that law? Oh, it doesn't matter. As long as they're not going in me and changing nothing or modifying anything or hurting me or hurting my baby, I'm good. Whatever law y'all make, as long as it doesn't affect my actual, like, you know, connection to my child that's coming, then I'm fine. But the fact that women are jumping up and some women are jumping up and down out their seat due to this law being made, it's just like, it's sad.
I understand. It's complex. That the women with the baby, I'm not saying it's complex as far as the conversation for that. Taking a
medical decision
is a little more simple. Literally, my body, my choice is a little more simple when it comes
medical decision.
My body, my choice. I understand the implications, why there's arguments with abortions. However, and I'll say my opinion, when it comes to women, I feel like, you know, because I thought about it. I was like, let me just unpack this. I'm sure I'll be asked this one day. And you know, I think that at the end of the day, right, if a woman, it's a woman has to carry the baby for 9-10 months anyway, right? And I understand from a God standpoint, from a seeing the fetus or the zygote as an entity, as a baby, it might be that's where the debate comes. But the reality is, if a woman just says, I'm not eating no food, nothing's gonna happen anyway. So I do feel like there's some gray there, but I do think my body, my choice is a very valid statement, period. I'll say that. My body, my choice is a valid statement, period. So if a woman is like, yo, I don't want to do it with my body, because as a man who has children, who my wife had my children, and I'm very blessed that she carried them and pushed them out. She did that. It didn't happen by itself. It wasn't like she just had to sit around and it happened. She had to go through everything. So as much as I get it, like I'm a part of, it's my child too. Her body had to do everything. So if I don't, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like you got to respect what you got to respect everyone's body, and an injection which affects nobody else, especially if you go, this is where it gets confusing.
Medical decision.
I don't know why it's confusing, but if
medical decision
it works, you don't need to worry about whether somebody else gets it. It just gets, to me, it's just real plain and simple with that. But if you say my body, my choice, it's like people believe it one time and then they don't. They just spit it. They just say those words when it's convenient, but they don't believe it for everything. Both sides.
I feel like whatever the news media pushes, the hardest usually becomes a high percentage of people's opinions based off like what the news repeats over and over in different ways, and then pushes the scenario and like kind of manipulates it. Not like they said it once or twice, but they really, really like talked you into it. They soothed you into it, and they kind of like agree with it based off whatever a person's desire and pleasures is. So they kind of manipulating people based off your desires and pleasures, and also depending on how you maybe if you feel like you're prone to being sick or something like that, you may look at it a different way too as well, besides just like your mindset alone.
Yeah, 100%. And fair and the pleasure, desires, and fair is the number one manipulator. It's the easiest way to manipulate people. It's happened in slavery. It's happened because if you could manipulate someone, you can control them. And unfortunately, most people don't even know they're being controlled by their fears. That's what. If you're even, we're having this conversation. I assume at some, you guys are at least paying attention. I think most people, it's stressful to try to go against the beast, as you called it, because there's fear involved because you don't know what's true. And that's why I said everyone needs to have solid values. And what's the difference what's the difference nowadays compared to years before, when people used to hunt, when people used to take care of themselves, is that people used to know what they were willing to die for. And nowadays, everyone's so comfortable. And I got to call out men because I'm a man. Most men, outside of people who are misled, like, our youth and stuff, that unfortunately, sometimes we're misled and we're killing each other. We don't know what our morals are and what we should be willing to die for. And I think we got to know what's right and what we're willing to stand up for. And I think that a lot of men nowadays, that's not even in their radar. So we just want to be comfortable. It's a comfort crisis. I've heard someone say it's a comfort crisis, and I think that's really what's going on. Easy to manipulate people in a comfort crisis.
Yeah, you're right, man. It's definitely easy to be manipulated, especially if you got your head into the TV that we call television. Like, if you're watching that too much and then you're sitting around, letting your anxiety build up, you will find yourself in a detrimental situation based on what you're seeing all the time. I mean, the news is crazy because it's just like, you're seeing things that you don't see in real life too often on the news. Every single second if you watch an hour of the news, you're gonna see something you ain't never seen for a whole hour long. So
yeah. What's something that's crazy? Speaking of the news, and I feel like, and in my head, and I could be, I hope I'm not the only one that noticed this. But over the last 2-3 years, since COVID, there's been a lot of messages sent through the news. Like, there was a focus, and George Floyd, with the George Floyd situation when he got killed, and that was horrible, obviously. But it was very interesting. In retrospect, it's very interesting that they televised it, number one, let everybody see it, got us all up in arms. Because we know there's been multiple, that's not new. There's been multiple situations like that they could have televised. That was, when you started seeing, if you look, there was other videos of other people being choked to death, other black people being choked to death and stuff like that. Again, horrible. But it got us up in arms. It seemed like it was bringing us together. And then you had Asian hate crimes, and the TV was showing black people attacking Asian people. and we know there was more than just black people. That's what we saw a lot of. So so what I'm saying is, control, historically, the way to control people, the simplest way, the most basic way is divide and conquer. And that's what's happening. Every month or so, it's a new topic that divides us. Up to, so it was we know it's been black and white. Then it was like Asians versus everybody. Then it was, evacuated versus
medical decision.
Then they randomly, the monkeypox thing didn't really stick, but the monkeypox, they were saying, they say monkeypox is from gay men. I'm like, and again, that don't make any sense. It's like you're really just trying to split everybody up because if you say it's from homosexuals, as much as if you're straight, you like the sound of that, because you're like, yeah, I knew that shit was bad. But hold up, you saying it's from homosexuals? Why? Because they have anal sex. They have heterosexuals that have anal sex too. So how is it just It just didn't make no sense. But people, if you're not gay, you just believe it and go, yeah, I knew it wasn't us. Nah, stop. Even though it's not you involved, stop and look at if that makes sense or not. Like, don't just free yourself. Let's stick together on this. They're trying to tear us apart. It's just weird. Like, it's not weird. To me, it's getting obvious now. Now it hurts because it's obvious. Like, damn, and people are just falling for it.
Right.
It's back to back. Right now, they're talking about there's like the heat. There's a heat wave, and it's a regular heat wave. We had heat waves since I was a kid, but now they're saying it's global warming. Record high temperatures. I'm waiting for the record high because we definitely had more than this. And I'm not. And again, not saying that nothing can be going on, but you got to show me real evidence because this ain't different. It's been hot. We've had hot summers before. This ain't the hottest. So, but I'm hearing people saying, "Oh man, this is crazy." I'm like, and they're just repeating what the news is saying.
That's that was first question for you right there. We got Liberty Dan in here, and we don't want to keep him waiting too long. We want to ask him something too.
Okay, sorry about that.
I was just letting you know before I say anything else. Yeah, man, but definitely appreciate. That's only one question right there. I don't know if you're going to stay in the room and answer any other after, but we just want to be fair and let Dan get on and everything.
Yeah.
But definitely appreciate you coming up and everything, and just keep doing what you're doing. It definitely motivates us. I personally saw you in the middle of the pandemic. I saw a video of you, I think, online, reposted by New York freedom fighters, and I seen you and I was like, yeah, this dude is really standing. He's in the middle of the beast, we call it. He's in the middle of the beast, and he still kept his business open. You know what I'm saying? He got people working out and making sure they could work out during the pandemic, and you made sure that you was right there, front line, dealing with it and everything like that. We appreciate you. We want to give you your flowers on this show right now.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Just make sure we got that right.
I'm gonna stick around. So.
R.I.P. Bubby. R.I.P. Zeus. R.I.P. Capo. In the fourth quarter, it gets serious.